Hello and welcome. Today I want to show you my new puppy. So this here is Kenji, and he has the hiccups once again. Kenji is 15 weeks old now. He is an American Staffy cross American Bulldog, and he's the cutest little man ever. So in this video I'm just gonna do a bit of a ramble about the reasoning behind getting him and getting his breed specifically, and just a few other things. Now it's really rainy today. It's, I think, forecasted for up to 45 mil of rain, which from where I'm from is considered quite a lot. This is a heavy day. It's really nice and cold. It's been obviously heavily cloudy, so it's a very gloomy day, and it's perfect to be inside here in the warm with a little man. So I picked up Kenji about 2.5 weeks ago now, and the day I went to pick him up, I was actually picking up a different dog, and I had organised that a few days prior, and we'd arranged a time for me to pick up, and so I left home and I went down with my mum, and on the way I texted just checking it was all good, and they said the dog had been sold that morning and they hadn't told me, which was pretty rude. But anyways, it was, yeah, some things are meant to be like that. So I pulled out my phone and I just went into this dog search site, and the very first doggy that popped up was this dude's little brother. So Kenji's brother, he looks identical to him, same colour, but Kenji has more of a black nose and a bit more of dark in his face, which is getting more and more as he gets a little bit older. But anyways, his brother, I was going to go pick up, so we went to, Mum and I changed directions, we went straight there. I said, stuff it, let's give it a try. And we got there was no dogs barking or anything, which made me quite happy, because in my experience seeing dog breeders, it's always a bit of a hectic house, lots of noise, lots of excitement. But yeah, it's none of that until we knocked on the front door. We got to the front door, and it was quite funny. There was just this little puppy sitting in the front, and he was barking in a very aggressive way, defending the house. And I could tell that he had been, that's what he does. I was like, oh, that's not the best sign. It's a bit worrying. So, anyways, we knocked on the door, and the lady came out, and she let us in, and the dog did not like us. He was very angry, very defensive, very scared, and I was quite not upset, I was instantly disappointed, just oh damn. Off we go, and then she says, I can tell he's a bit much for you. I have another puppy I can bring out. He is for sale, but I haven't been advertising him because I kind of want to keep him as mine and sell the rest off. I was like, oh, okay. So then she brought out little Kenji here, and straight away Kenji was also barking, and I was like, oh, but then the dog breeder, she took the brother out, and it was just Kenji, and Kenji was super sweet. He came running up to me, with his little tail wagging, and he was licking his nose going. And he ran straight up to me and jumped on my lap and looked right up at my face. I think he tried to bite my face because he's a little puppy, and that's okay. I went down and he just kind of laid there and was licking me and was very sweet, and he didn't want to get off my lap, so I figured, you know what, I'm taking him home. But yeah, I wanted to meet the parents of Kenji, of course, because if you ever had a dog breeder, you might as well meet what the parents are like. And she brought out, the dog breeder brought out the mum, and the mum was very like unsure, and she was a little bit growly, but she came over to me and she sat on my lap, and she saw me playing with Kenji, and she didn't seem to mind, which I thought was good. But the mum was very nice. I could see she was a bit grumpy because all the babies had been taken, and we were in her house, and you know, I'm sure it's a lot for her. So that was 1 for 1. I was pretty happy. And then she put the mum away and brought out the dad, and the dad was so funny because he was an identical twin to Rufus, my old man. And this dog was 1.5. He was a very young dad, so he was quite energetic and quite happy, but just no aggression whatsoever from that dude. Like, from the second he was brought out, he just looked at us and started wagging his tail and wanted to jump up. And she told us, like, you just gotta hold him back, otherwise he'll jump all over us. So it sounds like he wasn't the most trained dog, but it wasn't angry or aggressive, and I really liked that. So two kind soul parents, and I figured, you know what, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna go with it. I reckon he's good. So yeah, we hopped on our merry way. We got his certificates and everything, of course, to make sure it was legit. And he was really scared for the ride home, which was very cute. But we got home and he was very, very sweet. And took about a day or two for him to get to this level of playful. Obviously with a new house and knew everything was a bit much. But at 13 weeks old, he wasn't too young that he can't run right out to the back of the yard. Although it has taken him, even to this day, to explore the whole property. I think there's still some things that he hasn't actually seen on this block, some places he hasn't visited. But the weather's been pretty atrocious, so no blame. But yeah, that's how we got the little man. So I've been teaching him, or trying to teach him 2 commands or like tricks a week. So first it was sit and lay down. And it took him a little bit to get the lay down, but once he got it, it was alright. And then come, stay and wait is what I'm doing at the moment. And it's confusing because you have to be very sure about what's stay and what's wait. For example, if you get them to sit down and wait for their food, for you to put them down and then they can get it, and that's wait. But if you have friends over and you want him to go sit on the bed and go play on the bed over there and hang out and do his thing, you can go tell him to stay. But there's a fine line that I still need to work out. Yeah, it can be a little bit difficult to be on top of it like that, but it's alright. It's a two-way training system. He trains me and I train him. Well, really, I'm training me and him. I guess he's training me. He's definitely training me with patience right now. for the last few days especially. It's been just so rainy, I can't take him out to walk. But we got puppy school tonight, which is sick. It's a preschool, so it's for weeks 15 to 21. So I'm excited to see what sort of dogs are there. He's been quite well introduced to all the family dogs. Across my family we have probably 5 or 6 dogs that are around the ages of 2 to 5. So they're all still quite playful and they all hang out together and they're a bit of a big community when all the family gets together. So he has a big dog family to join. For those of you who don't know, which would be most of you, I had a American Staffy with an ex-girlfriend. Now, I say I had him, but really, like, he was her dog, her family's dog, but he was in my life for about 2.5 years, just about every day, if not every single day. And I did a lot of caring for him, and walking and feeding and playing and all sorts of stuff. And he was a very sweet dog. But unfortunately I had to say goodbye to him. And I haven't seen him in a long time now. It's been about a year or so since I saw him. When she and I split, I saw him a couple of times. We had arranged that I'd be able to see him because I was so close to him, but didn't exactly end up working out with relationships with everybody, so that kind of stopped, and that's alright. Things happen like that sometimes. But just a quick recap on dogs that I've had in my life, just in case you're interested. When I was young, we had 2 Cavalier King Charles Spaniels, and we got them because when my little sister was about 2 or 3 years old, she was attacked by a dog, and so to get her more affiliated and associated with dogs and comfortable with dogs, Mum and Dad decided to get 2 of the least likely to attack the kids' dogs. So we had them from when I was about 7. We got Scarlet first, the little lady, and then we got Shaggy the man about a year later, I reckon, maybe 9 months later. And Scarlet lived until she was 13 or 14. So put her down a few years ago. But Shaggy, unfortunately, he died of cancer when he was about 10 years old, so late 2020. And so those were the first 2 dogs that I had. After Shaggy died, it was a very sad time for me, and I feel like my wish to want him back in my life came true, because about 6 months later was when my ex, her family, started looking for a dog, and I came along with them. And I remember the day that we got that doggy, little Rufus. There was 3 or 4 same looking dogs as him, these black American Staffies, all 8 weeks old, very large, going to be very large American Staffies. And there were 3 grey girls. So we had 3 black boys, 3 grey girls. It was funny because BB and Gigi, black boys and grey girls. And yeah, I remember the second I saw him, I saw all these dogs, and the family went around to be crazy with them, and I just sat on the ground with my legs crossed, and I thought, let's see who comes up. I looked through the dogs, and there was crazy dog, crazy dog, crazy dog, nose, crazy dog, nose, crazy dog. And then this dog with like one eye open, just like half asleep, looking over, and I was like, hello. And he saw me from across the room and he went, and he just kind of asleep waddled over, and he just crashed right into my lap. And he just zonked there. And I was like, hello. That's Shaggy, he's come back. Obviously, like, completely different dog, but it felt in a way almost like a part of the soul there was connected. And so that was beautiful. And yeah, then about 6 months after that, my mum and dad got a new dog, and that was Marley. And he's a Beagle Ear cross. It was Beagle Ear, so Beagle cross Cavalier King Charles. And because Rufus was about 6 months old and he had been quite well taught from a few dogs, Rufus started teaching Marley manners and how to be a dog, and he did a bloody excellent job of that. So did Mum and Dad, of course, and everyone around, but he hung out with Rufus a lot. You could really see him learning. At that stage, Scarlett was still around, and she was quite old, and she had lost most of her teeth, so her tongue hung out one side, but she was still a chippery, happy little lady. And it was really funny, even in her very old years, we could see her starting to try to play with Marley as he got a bit more playful. And you know, she is like 13, 14, she hadn't played in years. She'd been just chilling, walking, having a good time. So to see her doing that and trying to teach was really sweet. Yeah. Then Scarlett died not too long after we got Marley, unfortunately. We had to put her down because she couldn't eat anymore because she lost all her teeth. Which is why you gotta make sure you take care of your dog's teeth. But yeah, she passed away, and so we had Marley, and Mum and Dad already had the plan to get a second dog for him anyway, so it was the right time. So they got Benny, who is another Beagle Ear, so we have two Beagle Ear boys at Mum and Dad's house, and they are so bloody sweet. So sweet and gentle, so happy and full of life. They listen mostly, but they're very, very happy dogs. Hey, you don't do that. Yeah, and then there's the other dogs in the family. Is Pink, who's a border collie, and then we got Monty. There's a couple others, but can't. You probably won't see them much, they're not really around. So yeah, now I've brought in Kenji to the mix, and he will learn from passed down knowledge of the last dogs coming from Rufus. So we've come full circle here. So one thing that I forgot to mention is what his name actually means. Mister, we're not doing that. Go. Sit up. Kenji. So yeah, Kenji, the Japanese name. It has a few different meanings, I believe. Like strong, intelligent, I believe, or something. But the reason why I chose his name is because Kenji also means second son in Japanese. Now, not that I didn't feel like Shaggy, my first little man, was my first boy, but he was definitely like my parents' dog. When I was a child, we were all growing up together, really. You know, me as a child, him as a puppy. And so it was a bit less of a, a bit less of that dynamic where I didn't have to feed him that much, and I didn't have to be the one person who's walking him and make sure he's taken care of and insurance and all that stuff. But with Rufus, it was a lot more like that. Although I didn't have to worry about finance things for him as much. I was still feeding him. I wasn't necessarily paying for the food, as my girlfriend at the time was. But I was feeding him, playing with him, taking care of him during the day while I was trying to first do my ASMR stuff, and I stopped working as much, trying to commit to this, and you know, I was there for him a lot. And the family was away most of the time. I want to say 90% of the time. For months and months at a time, they'd be away in America and stuff. So it'd just be my ex-girlfriend and I with the doggy. And yeah, he felt like my first son, my proper first son. So, Kenji, I know you're getting a bit excited, but we're not doing that. Come on. He's getting grumpy with me. I think he wants to play. It's been too long. Hey, Papa. Probably gonna have to wrap it up soon. He's getting a bit too restless. But yeah, he is absolutely my second son. My second doggy son. Yeah, that's about it. Not sure how big he'll get, to be honest. Rufus was definitely a much bigger dog. Even at this age, his paws were huge and his skin was very wrinkly because he had so much to grow into. He was a big chubby boy. So I think he's going to be a medium, very medium size, slim, as long as I keep him slim and long looking Staffy. But you know, half American Staffy, half American Bulldog, so who knows? I know the Bulldogs are bigger than the American Bulldogs are bigger than the American Staffy, so who knows? But I don't know. Judging from him and his brother, it didn't seem like they'd be huge, but I guess we'll have to see. Might have different growing styles. I think we'll wrap it up there for now. It's gonna get a bit too hard to continue the video now. He's awake. He's fully awake. He's alive. Alright guys. Thank you for watching. Hopefully there wasn't too much of his little mouth sounds again. And yeah, I'll be back soon with another regular video. A lot of you have been asking for whispering, because it's been a little while since I've done that. So I'll do some of that. I've been loving making the soft speaking because it's a bit more enjoyable, I think. But that's alright. I love all sorts of different things, and I like to listen to whispering myself still these days. And yeah, that's it for now. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye for now. Come. 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 Kenji, come here. Good boy. Okay. Come here. Come here. Kenji, come here. Good boy. Come here. Come here. What's up? Come here. Good boy. Sit. Lay down. Good boy. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. You know what you can play with.